Joining us right now is the chairman of the House Antitrust subcommittee, which is leading the investigation into the technology industry. Congressman David Cicilline joins us. And Congressman, what do you want to hear today? What do you think the problem is with big tech overall?
Well, I think the purpose of the investigation is really to look at the digital marketplace broadly. These are very large technology platforms that have tremendous market dominance. We're looking at, and we will look at, kind of how the markets are working. What does Congress need to do in terms of responding to these deep concentrations of economic power? We're concerned, of course, about anti-competitive behavior. We're concerned about kind of taking over rivals. We're concerned about a blatant disregard for privacy, for ensuring that consumers have control over their data. But look, these are huge monopolies or duopolies, and we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to make these markets work. We all benefit from competition. These are markets that are not working properly. We're in this very serious monopoly moment. And this investigation is going to give us an opportunity to collect the best information, the best data, hear from the best experts in this area as we think about what's the right way to get these markets working properly.
You know, you are not alone in your thoughts on this. Obviously, you have the Department of Justice, the FTC, and now states' attorney generals who are all getting involved, attorneys general all getting involved in this movement.
The one thing I would say about that is those are typically, certainly the FTC and maybe some of the state attorney generals are related to sort of particular prosecutions of wrongdoing or some complaint. Ours is really different. Ours is not a prosecution investigation. It's about informing the development of good public policy, making sure we have the ability to gather evidence, hear from the best technologists in the country and from around the world, making sure that we are understanding how the markets are working, how these platforms are operating, so that we can develop solutions by way of legislation or a regulatory approach. But it really is not about a single company or a single act. It's really about how we fix a broken market and a broken internet.
What do you think's broken about it?
Well, I think, there's a lot of anti-competitive behavior that some of these large platforms are engaged in. There's certainly evidence that they are extinguishing rivals and eliminating competition, making it difficult to enter the market, reducing innovation, reducing entrepreneurship as a result of their market dominance. There's obviously been serious breaches of privacy interests of consumers, loss of control about what happens to your data and the misuse of that data. So I think there are a number of big challenges. It's easy to diagnose the problem. I think the more difficult challenge is going to be developing a solution that responds to it, that helps to create a competitive market so that we can have all the benefits of robust competition.
We've had this conversation a lot here on this program, and maybe we're dumbing it down too much, but a lot of the ways we've looked at it is, in this country, we've traditionally looked at monopolistic behavior being a problem when it's harming consumers. It sounds like you are looking far beyond just that simple definition, and maybe something that looks a little more like the way Europe is regulating things. Is that too simple of an explanation?
I think there is some evidence that it's harming consumers, but you're right. One of the things I think we have to look at is our existing antitrust legislative infrastructure. Our antitrust statutes were written principally about 100 years ago in response to the railroad monopolies and the oil barons. And I think the time has come to kind of look at, top to bottom, look at our antitrust statutes, determine are they working to promote competition in the new economy. So that's one of the issues. But it's also important to realize that, consumer welfare, which has been the standard, maybe we have to think about what that means. I mean, consumers are giving very valuable data, giving their attention that's then monetized for advertising dollars. So monopoly in that context has real significance.
Congressman Cicilline, thank you for your time. We'll be watching today.